Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bath City Radio for live coverage of today's Vanarama National League South clash between Enfield Town and Bath City from Donkey Lane. I'm Mark Stillman, commentating throughout, with Matt Francis back on summarising duties. Following an enforced fortnight off, City are back on the road this afternoon with their first visit here. Darren Way's side maintain a handy cushion ahead of the bottom four, and a win today would put them 13 points clear of the struggling Towners with a game in hand. They'll be sure to avoid being so confident, as Gavin McPherson's men picked up a 1-0 win at Twerton in September thanks to Billy Leonard's header, and they overcame Chelmsford in their last home game a fortnight ago. However, their 56 goals against is 7 more than the next worst defensive record in the league in Welling United, and they've only kept 1 clean sheet since keeping the Romans out 4 months ago. So, Matt, City have improved in general under Darren Way, but their away form has been subpar this season. Should that be a little bit of a concern this afternoon?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. It feels like a while since we've done an away game together, but I think, yeah, it's like you said there, the away form has been a bit of a struggle this year. We've sat and watched a few, you've aptly described it there, subpar games, not a lot of goals, not enough action in that respect. But recently, I think things have picked up. You can see that the atmosphere is a little bit different. You know, you're looking at that game against Chippenham, really, Darren Way's first proper game in charge. That felt like the template to go forward, against a really good side in Chippenham. Scored 3 goals, looked really comfortable, and I'm sure that'll be a repeat of that performance today. Would be fantastic for everyone involved with Bath City.
So it's Bath City who are going to get this game underway. Their first ever visit here away to Enfield Town. Referee Emily Heaslip just checking her watch. We're all underway as we are now, as Russ goes back to green slowly, hoists it towards the right hand side where it's headed away comfortably from Hawkins. Tilson beats Youngs in the air, flicks it wide to Range, who's forced to go all the way back to Wiles Richards, wide of his penalty area. His first touch, right-footed clearance. Range being in the air from Hawkins, and it goes up play, throwing the City on halfway, 0-0. But there's a lot of height from Enfield Town in that box, including Big Bailey Bryant waiting near the penalty spot. Peak to deliver, left-footed into a great area. It's headed over from Thompson, who got there before the goalkeeper. He got in the space, couldn't keep his header down, but I'd say that was half a chance.
It certainly was. It's a brilliant ball into the area from Peak, and yeah, you're expecting the defender, as soon as he gets in front of Wiles Richards there, to sort of stick it in.
They started better than they did at Twerton. They were very slow at the blocks, but it didn't matter. They went on to win. From a pretty abject second half performance from the Romans on that occasion, as Parcell's clearance was come back off. George Parcell hit the angle of post and crossbar. It stayed in play, and we are very close to one of the most extraordinary goals I think I would have seen. He was only 35 yards out at least, went all the way over the goalkeeper, and he is so grateful that it came back off his upright. Mickey Parcell, I should say, has never scored for Enfield Town, and he's just become ever so close. 0-0. Tomlinson with a free kick down the right hand side, looking for Ash. He mentioned his name so far, he hasn't had anything to work with. There's Alves down the right hand side. Face up from Hawkins, cuts inside of 2 men and is tripped just wide of the penalty area. Peak and Hawkins adamantly it wasn't a foul. The ball was won. Forster's left quite a gap. Alves zooms it in, and it's gone through everybody and behind for a goal kick. I think he was just hoping that there was going to be a touch on there from anybody, and there wasn't. It's gone behind.
It's good effort though, because with those ones you've seen them take a nick and it goes off of anybody, and it might well end up in the back of the net.
Still feels he's got the support of his squad, assisted by John Nurse as well, part of the Dagenham and Redbridge team knocked Bath City out at the FA Cup a few years ago. There's Peak, volleys it across towards Kanda to want to get a header, but he couldn't keep it down. It's behind for a goal kick. 28.5 minutes in, 0-0 between Enfield Town and Bath City. Youngs heads inside to Brown, holds off. Man, Brown is an untidy looking shot. He's really angry with himself because he connected with it wrong. It opened up quite well for him near the edge of the box. Alves wins the ball in midfield from Parcell, and that's a good ball from Wilson for Range to latch onto. First time he's really got properly forward near the edge of the box. Range, as FA, he's brought down from Hawkins. That's a free kick. It's a needless lazy leg really from the centre back, and a good opportunity for City. It's fairly central. around 20 yards out. Free kick, 5 players in the Enfield Town wall. Alves is the only man interested in this. I think he's going to go more for power. Also like to blow just past the 41-minute mark. Alves is awesome. It's in the bottom corner. Might have gone under the wall, around the wall. It doesn't matter. Jordan Alves breaks the deadlock. 42 minutes in. Enfield Town 0, Bar City 1, and they'll be even more furious with their defender now.
Yeah, absolutely. What a finish from Jordan Alves. Sometimes when a player squares up for a free kick, you know exactly what they want to do. And even if you can see what they want to do, if you hit it well enough, it's just going to go in. It's a brilliant finish from a man who I think has been Bar City's best player in this opening 45 minutes. And it's a fantastic effort from a man who's on fine form and is really typifying the uptake that this Bar City side has had. Brilliant goal, brilliant finish. And whilst it's not been the best game, that's a really good way to set it alight.
Throws it short to Youngs, who tries to bear it back to Peak. Peak takes over, zips it all across, and it was an important interception from 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛. It's a corner, which they're going to have time to take. Great defending from the skipper. If City deal with this, they'll go into the half ahead. Peak, what a delivery that is! And Miles Richards has somehow stretched to grasp it from inside his post. I thought he might have come off Wilson, actually. Coming back to try and defend. It was all very slow, trickling towards him. It's the final action of the half. And it got more lively in the final few minutes, really. Bar City going the happier. Enfield Town 0, Bar City 1.
It's been a really fast start from the hosts to this second period. It's similar to what they did at the start of the first half, to be perfectly honest with you. Bar City got to keep that defensive shape and solidity and not panic.
Leonard throws it in the penalty area. Youngs can't flick it on, but now he helps it towards the 6-yard box, headed away from 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛𝗛 He's looked lively so far. He's played well. Over to the right-hand side now with Leonard to try and get a cross in, which he does. Oh, it nearly went straight in. It's batted away from Wiles Richards underneath his own crossbar. I'm sure it was an intended cross. Enfield Town still on the front foot. Peak with the ball in, headed away from Tomlinson. Russ can't fully get it away. Picked up from Mickey Parcell near the edge of the box. The reverse ball is asking a little bit too much of Leonard. Intention was good, and the wingback didn't really read it. It's behind. And City breathe a sigh of relief. It was very good, alert goalkeeping from Wiles Richards. Touch. The problem is the same pattern as last week, where Enfield Town against Maidstone were more on top, but they were in the game, and then they just let themselves down with a pointless penalty gone against them. This time it's a free kick. It's well taken from Alves, of course, but shouldn't have been given away. As Alves now inside the penalty area, trying to get away from a couple of players, gone down and returning to Bryan, and the referee says no, and it's a couple of deflections, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Alves, who initially went down near the byline, is now back up on his feet.
Yeah, I think it'd been a little bit soft. I can see why he's appealed for it, but at the end of the day, it's one of those ones where as a player looks to go and unleash the shot, he's nudged off balance.
Headed away well from Tomlinson. Back to Ash, who's onside, with a very long header forward. Alves, right-hand side, onto his left foot. Left-footed shot, it really squeezed past the keeper with a near post. In fact, he's made a meal of it to put it behind for a corner.
Yeah, again, just Jordan Alves, when he gets into that left foot, it's just so dangerous. Somebody else, I mean, we're obviously going to pick out Jordan Alves for the fact he scored. I think Ollie Tomlinson so far today has been fantastic, winning pretty much all of his aerial duels.
Plenty of Enfield Town fans behind the goal at Hertfordshire Zoo, hoarding above the penalty area. It looks too far across. It's a real scramble, and somehow Bath City get the ball away. It's almost like a rugby scrum near the goal line. As Ash charges down the clearance from Peak. I don't know how that ball didn't come in, but if Peak keeps on sending in deliveries like that, then surely Enfield Town will get something, a goal back in this game. It feels like City need a second. Free kick Bath City, which is taken Wiles Richards. Now over to the right-hand side with Alves. Good turn away from trouble. Bath City's brightest player this afternoon. Now he's near the byline. The interception somehow kept in play from Hawkins, and Bryan is dying a little bit near his own corner quadrant, and somehow Enfield Town scramble the ball away up to Hutchinson. Layoff is loose. Russ touches it inside the Greenside, midway inside the Town half. Chips one over the top, and they're not defending it very well. So Wilson! Oh, he's just put it wide! Only a yard wide. The goalkeeper was standstill. I think he thinks there was a touch on the way through. A few people around us thought it was in. It was very, very close. It remains 1-0.
Yeah, and it probably should be too. I think Scott Wilson will be frustrated that he's not stuck that into the back of the net. It's sort of fallen to him quite fortuitously, but he opens his body up, looks for the near corner. just goes wide. It's so close.
Greenslade looking for Ash down the line. Is he going to get there? He does. He's kept the ball in play near the corner quadrant. Needs support. Played it back to Tilson. Tilson, right-footed delivery towards the far post. Not a bad one. Is importantly headed away from Peak, doing the defensive side of his game. Now inside to Alves, near the edge of the box. Plenty of white shirts in his way, and he's rather cheaply dispossessed. He's going to have to try and help his team get the ball back on the front foot. But now it's with Hutchinson on the right side. Received it from Youngs. Hutchinson to run at Greenslade. Turned inside of Greenslade near the edge. Shooting chance. What an interception from Tilson, who just absolutely launched his body in the way very courageously. But it's back with Tyne for the moment. Sort of, I think it almost hit his side more than anything. Ball comes in from Peak. A high hanging one is headed wide of goal, but Freer's got to try and keep it in play. Doesn't need to. It's behind. Two Enfield Town players collided in the middle. It's a goal kick. Youngs headed forward to Kinda. Good turn away from trouble. Peak on the left-hand side. Russ keeping back with him. Peak, ball in is low. Parcell swings it up into the air. Kinda brings up the control beautifully and shoots. Well, the shot was nowhere near as good as the control, which was pretty mesmeric. And over to the right-hand side. Leonard again. Reverse ball to Whittaker. Whittaker trying to deliberately bend in the corner. Again, he's blocked from Parcell. It's a bit telegraphed really, but Captain did well to stand his grind. Greenslade has hit it off himself, and Enfield Town at another corner. Yeah, there's going to be an in-swinger. Enfield Town with plenty of players near the penalty spot, queuing up. Peak is a better delivery. It's skimmed off a couple of heads. It's going to stay in play though for Bailey Brown on the far side. The Enfield Town left, face from Tilson. They're forcing him onto his left side. But he's managed to weave his way onto his right. With a good ball in, Youngs heads it over the bar and out for a goal kick. It wasn't an easy chance for Youngs, who scored a couple at that end the other week against Chelmsford. Can't keep it down. And Bath City will restart with their one-goal lead intact.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a calm-down process again here. I think I said that Enfield Town's pressure has been relentless, certainly in the last 5 minutes or so. So you're looking at the bench for Bath City and seeing if there's any fresh legs. I can see Ewan Clark's just taken his bib off.
And saying all that now, they're going to bring on a little bit of flair in Ewan Clark, who's missed the last 20 games. Last played 112 days ago. That win over Salisbury, and as you sort of anticipated, really, Matt, he's on for Elliot Freer. It might take him a while to get up to speed, really. He hasn't played since the end of September. As the ball is played forward from Mickey Parcell over to the right-hand side for Leonard, who should get it before Greenslade. Wide of the penalty area, kind of waiting in the middle. Another great ball! It's in this time! It's Youngs, money at the far post. And it felt inevitable, really. Enfield Town's deliveries have been gorgeous all afternoon, and they finally have someone to apply the finishing touch. 76 minutes, Enfield Town 1, Bath City 1. It's their top scorer.
Yeah, it's a fabulous ball into the area. Leonard's tested with a lot of those today, so it's another corridor of uncertainty. We talk about it a lot. Brilliant ball into the area. This time Youngs anticipates it, whereas you think it might float past everyone, as it has done a few times this afternoon. He connects, and it's a case now Bath City are going to have to swing the momentum back in their favour.
10 goals in all competitions this season for Sam Youngs. Second change, it's going to be Alex Fisher on and Scott Wilson off. It's in the 80th minute. It's Mitch Beardmore coming on, and it's definitely Brad Ash who came off. Ball inside, Beardmore is beaten to it from Mickey Parcell, and a nice ball over to the left-hand side, brought under control from Peak. They want to stop the cross. Will Bath City rains the cross to try and do that, and he does. Come off in, but the second delivery into Chukwu. Can't bring under control, and Greenslade has had it clear from the 6-yard box. Long throw in 5 minutes, actually. And comes off Parcell. Corner Enfield Town. Still arms all over one another in that box. It's a real mess. Corner right near the crossbar, and it's headed over. In that melee, it looks like it's Youngs. He got the final touch. Rains has got an awful lot of room to have a run-up with a running track. It's high towards the near post. Parcell can't head it goalwards. Fisher plays it back to Alves near the edge of the box. Shapes up a shot, and it's gone miles and miles wide. Alves trying to shape up a cross. He's managed to do so, but Bryan is there at the right place to clear at the near post. Rains keeps it in play on the right-hand side. a low-driven one towards Beardmore. Oh, he's caught, isn't he? That's a really bad challenge to give away from Enfield Town, and even the Partisan Panzerangers can't complain. He's a yellow card as well for Bailey Brown. I can barely see anything on the far side now. I'm giving that. No,
I think it's Alves and Clark.
Yeah. It is Alves. I can tell by the sweatband on his left arm. This is a commentator's test. Clark, right-footed, into a good area, but headed away from the time back line. And now they might fancy a final break forward. They can't because there was a head injury on Fisher. It's going to let Enfield Town continue. He's going to drop the ball to Mickey Parcell. Some 30 yards from his own goal. Plays it back to Forster. Oh, what on earth is he doing? He's taking a couple of touches, way too many touches, and he's put it out in the touch. That was ridiculous, and the goalkeeper. It doesn't matter. Final action of the game. Circus-like tricks from Reece Forster. It finishes in Enfield Town 1, Bath City 1. Jordan Alves' free kick on 42 minutes, guided expertly into the bottom corner, cancelled out in the second half by Sam Youngs. When those crosses from wide areas finally paid off, it was Leonard's ball in, and Youngs met it firmly at the far post with a fierce finish. And Enfield Town really deserved a leveller. Actually, it was a tough battle out there. It wasn't a classic. Bath City, in truth, defended very well. They stood up firm against a side who I thought played above themselves. Actually, is that in recent weeks and watching Enfield Town's footage back, this is one of their better performances. It's 4 points in 2 games at home for them, and Bath City just 1 defeat in 4 under Darren Way, and it means that they don't close the gap. Enfield Town, it stays as it was. Another game gone for Enfield Town to try and close it up, and I think overall, I know Bath City would have come here wanting the 3 points, of course, Matt, but in the circumstances, do you think that they'll be pretty content with the draw?
Yeah, I think so, and I think you mentioned it there. You have to give a lot of credit to Enfield Town for the way that they played. I think from a Bath City perspective, yeah, okay, you'll be frustrated that you've not come away with 3 points, but you're aware that the performance wasn't at the standard that you wanted to be, yet you've not lost. Still plenty of positive signs in there, and this is a group that's still coming together. I think Darren Way's clearly getting his ideas across to the squad as well, so there are still plenty of positives to take. You've come away from home against a team that are fighting for their lives down at the bottom of the table. You've not lost. You've just got to take what you can from the game and move on to the next one.
No, I echo those sentiments, Matt, and thank you very much for accompanying me this afternoon. It's actually the first time Bath City have drawn away since we were last on air together at Hornchurch back in
specialists,
October. That was a 0-0. This one was a 1-1 goal from Jordan Alves, opening the scoring on 42 minutes of the free kick, cancelled out deservedly, I'd say, from Sam Youngs on 76. So Bath City will go home with a point. They retain that good advantage over Enfield Town at the bottom. They're now still 10 points clear of the team from North London, who gave it their all, but they didn't have enough to win all 3 points this afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in. From me, Mark Stillman, and from Matt Francis. We'll be back on air on Saturday from 2:45 PM when Cheshire United are the visitors to Twerton Park. Enjoy what's left of your evening.